How to build a responsive and dynamic hero section using HTML, SCSS, and some basic JavaScript. If you're new to setting up HTML and SCSS, check out the video up top or down below in the description where I show you how to get started. Links to the resources and source code will be available below as well. Let's get started. Now that we're done creating our fully responsive and dynamic navigation bar, we're going to move on to creating a fully responsive hero section with a built-in form overlay. And it's going to look really similar to the Verbo website that we're looking at right here. So I'll go ahead and close out of this now, and then I'm going to go ahead and move over my live server to the right side of the page. And over here in my index.html file, I want to navigate underneath the nav bar that we just created. And what I'm going to do here is start off by creating a section with a class of hero. Inside of this section, I'll create a div with a class of hero __ overlay. Go ahead and hit enter. And keep in mind, I'm going to continue to use BEM today. And again, this is just a CSS naming method that helps keep our code organized. Underneath that overlay, I'm going to create a div with a class of hero __ content. Create another div with a class of hero __ text. And here I'll create an h1 with a class of hero __ text _ title. So again, using the block element modifier CSS naming convention here, I'm starting off with double underscores and then _ for a modifier. And inside of this h1 element, I can paste find your perfect getaway. Next, I'll create a paragraph element with a class of hero __ text _ subtitle. And again, this all is going to make a lot more sense once we start actually writing our SCSS. And then for now, I can go ahead and paste in my text. Now underneath the hero text div, but still within the hero content div, I want to create a form element with a class of hero __ form. And then for this, we're not going to need a specific action today because it's just going to be a front-end website. Inside of this form, I'll create a div with the class of hero __ form -- row. And inside of this, I'll create a label element with the class of form _ label. And this is going to be for the location. And inside of this label, I'll just go ahead and paste in location like so. And at this point, we need a little bit more space, so I'm going to move over the live server just a little bit so you guys can still see it, but we have a little bit more space to write our HTML and our styling. Next, I'm going to have an input element with the class of form _ input. And the type is going to stay text, but what we need to do is add a name, so we'll make this equal to location. We need an ID equal to location. And then we want to add a placeholder text right here. Where are you going? And then make this required for now, like so. Next, what I'm going to do is copy this hero form row like so. Go ahead and paste it down below. I'm going to go ahead and keep this label, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this input element like so. Get rid of this entire thing. Now I'm going to change the for in this label to guests. Keep the class as form _ label, but I'm going to change location to guests. After the label, I want to create a select element with a class of form _ input and an ID of guests. And the name here is going to be guests. And then inside of this select element, like so, we're going to have a few different options, and I'll go ahead and paste that in. So option value 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is going to be 1 guest, 2 guests, and so on here. Next, I'm going to copy this hero form row again, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it below like so. And the for attribute in the label element is going to be check-in. The class is going to stay form label. And the text is going to change to check-in. The input, the type is going to change to a date. The class is going to stay form input. The name is going to be check-in, and the ID is also going to be check-in. And we can get rid of the placeholder here like so, and I'll go ahead and leave required. And then underneath the check-in hero form row, I'm going to paste one more in, but this time it's going to be for the checkout. And I already went ahead and changed out the for, ID, name, and the text right here for the label. Lastly, we're going to create another div beneath that with the class of hero double underscore form double dash row again, and hero double underscore form double dash row double dash submit. Then inside of that div, I'll create a button element with a class of button. And I want to add the type attribute, and we'll make this equal to submit. And then for the text, I'll say search. So now that is going to be it for the HTML structure of our hero and built-in form. What we can do now is navigate to the styles.scss file again, and we can scroll back up here and underneath our navbar block, so you guys can see the navbar block right here. And then between that and the media query, I will go ahead and target the hero class, and this is going to serve as our block. And inside of this, I'll change the position, if I can spell correctly today, to relative. The width is going to be 100%. The height is going to be 80 viewport height. And then I'm going to use the background to display the image. So I will say URL. And here I specifically want to use the seascape.jpg right here. So what I'll do is go ahead and navigate here and just paste in the URL to get that image. And now you guys can see it displaying. Then I'll specify center / cover. And I want to say no repeat, like so. And at this point, you guys can see the background hero image displaying correctly. After the background, we want to say the color is going to be primary. And this is again coming from our variables up top. And again, down below in the source code, you guys can see all of this will be available. But we're just pulling from the variables that we created earlier again. Change the display to flex, align the items to the center, justify content to the center. Now again, with inside of this hero selector block right here, we can use the ampersand in SCSS to specify hero, and then I'll say double underscore overlay. And if I hover on this again, you guys can see that I'm targeting the hero double underscore overlay class. I'll change the position to absolute, the inset to 0, make sure I include my colon here, and the background color to the overlay color variable. After this, I can use the ampersand again, double underscore, content, and again, these are serving as our elements. So I'll go ahead and put element, and then above this, I can put element again. So we have our block and our elements. Change the position here to relative, the max width to 75 rem, the width to 90%, z index is going to be 1. Then what we want to do is change the display here to flex, followed by flex direction of column, and align items to the center. And I almost forgot text align to the center as well. Next, outside of the content block, I'm going to go ahead and again target another selector, and this is going to be ampersand underscore text. And for this, I'm going to change the margin bottom to space large. And nested inside of this selector here, going to use the ampersand again and target the title modifier. So I'll go ahead and specify modifier for you guys again. You guys can see exactly what we're targeting from our HTML. Change the margin top to 0. The font size will be font XXL. The font weight will be 700. And the margin bottom will be space medium, followed by a font family of our font heading variable. And next, we're going to go ahead and target the subtitle. So font size will be font large, and font weight will be 400. Next, below this, but still within the hero selector block, I want to go ahead and target specifically the form. And this is going to be the hero form class. And at this point, I'll change the background color to RGBA, and I'll use the primary and the 0.95 opacity. The border radius is going to be radius medium. The padding is going to be space large, and the display is going to be grid. At this point, I'll go ahead and set up the grid template columns, and this is going to start off as repeat, and we're going to say 2 columns at 1 FR each. Add in a gap of space medium and a width of 90%. We want to go ahead and include a max width of 50 rem and a box shadow of shadow medium. Inside of this form selector, I'm going to specify ampersand double dash row, change the display to flex, and the flex direction to column. Then I'm getting an error here because I forgot to put the semicolon right here. And now you guys can see the class. Inside of this row, I'm going to go ahead and nest one more selector, and this is going to be the submit. And inside of this, I want to target specifically the button. And this is going to be a class, so I need to put the period. And change the width to 100%. Next, still within the row selector, I want to target the class form _ label. I want to say font size, font small, and margin bottom space extra small, followed by color of text. Underneath this, I want to go ahead and target the form _ input. And trust me guys, we are almost there. Just a few more classes here and we will have this fully functioning form and hero section. So I want to create a padding of space small and space medium. Then the border is going to be border thin, solid, and border color, followed by border radius of radius small, and a font size of font medium. Then we'll go ahead and include the color of text. And then still within the form input selector, what we want to do is include an ampersand and say focus. And here we'll specify border color of accent 1 and outline of none. Lastly, I'm going to have a box shadow here of 000 space extra small and a RGBA color value of accent 1 followed by 0.25 opacity. After the form input class, I want to target the select and specifically the form _ input inside of the select element. Change the appearance to none, background position to right, space medium, and center, background repeat to no repeat, and background size to font medium. After this, I want to target the button class, change the background color to accent, the text color to primary, and we're getting close here, I promise. The border to none, the padding to space small, and space large. And the font size is just going to be font large. Border radius will be radius small. Cursor will be a pointer. And the transition will be background dash color, but not a variable in this case. 0.2 seconds. And we want it to ease. Then still within the button selector, we want to specify an ampersand colon on hover. And the background color here will be darken, accent 1 by 10%. Now you guys can see that our form is complete and it looks really similar to what Verbo has on their website. We have the hero image with some text, location field, guests, and check in, check out with a search button here. But what we need to do next is make this completely responsive, because when we get down to a mobile device viewport width like this, we want all of these fields just to be in one column. So down here, we already created our media query of 768 pixels. So underneath all of this, for the navigation bar that you guys can see here, what we want to do is go ahead and target now the hero. So I'll target the hero class, change the height to auto, the padding to space, extra large, and 0. And then here we can specify ampersand underscore content, change the width to 95%. And underneath that, we need to go ahead and specify the ampersand double underscore to target the text. And then here, ampersand double dash, title, font size, font extra large. Now we want to do this again, but instead of targeting the title, we want to target the subtitle. Change the font to medium times 1.2. And still within the hero block here, but underneath the text, I want to specify the ampersand double underscore form, change the padding to space medium, and the grid template columns to 1FR. Now you guys can see that we are done with our hero section with the built-in form overlay. You can view this in a desktop like I am here, and it also works for mobile devices as well. You can actually fill this out if you want. So I can go ahead and select all this, and then actually select a date that I'm going to check in and a date that I'm going to check out as well. But again, this is just a front end right here. So if I hit search, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to take me here. So just to go ahead and prevent the default form action right now, I'm going to go back into my JavaScript file, and underneath the navbar JavaScript right here, I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in. And all I'm doing is selecting the form and then preventing the default with a basic function right here. So now if I click this, it's not going to do anything, even if I fill it out. So I'll go ahead and fill this out like so. Hit search, and it'll just prevent it from messing up.